This is Dr. Steve Cangiano. I am the president and co-founder of RDT.Media and Events with its online companions, relationship-development.com and humanity-upgrade.com. We just finished a conversation with Rick Hanson regarding negativity bias. Rick is the world leading expert on the topic. There were amazing insights, and now we're going to take it to the next topic, which we're calling Humanity Upgrade. How do we apply what we've learned in the last 3 videos to this rapidly changing world? This world that is changing at the speed of light, and Rick has some amazing advice to help you navigate this new world. And this is really, correct me if I'm, this is like your mission in life, to really bring this message forward. And Humanity Upgrade is the same thing, is how do we transform in a very predictable way? How do we transform people's way of thinking? Because the reality of our world is so much better than it has ever been. There's every reason to be people to have that safety, satisfaction, connection on a higher, more improving level. And yet, in some places it is better, and in other places it seems like it's getting worse. And I know that that's kind of a mission in your work and what you're trying to do.
Well, thank you for saying that. Well, 2 things. One, given the power of fear, you can see the ways in which, whether, again, it all scales in a family or a schoolyard or a company or a town or a country, you can see that there's a long-standing strategy of, I'll say bullies, whether the bully is a CEO or a father or a prime minister, that the bully will try to break things. And then once they're broken, and therefore stir up fear related to breaking things of one kind or another. Systems, institutions, relationships, physical objects. And then based on what the bully has broken, stir up fear, which the bully says, you need me to keep you safe now. But it was the bully who broke things in the first place. Right. So you start to see this, when you start to understand this as the underlying script, it's like recognizing a certain kind of a movie. You walk in, you don't know what it's about, but 10 minutes in you go, oh, I know this movie. It's like a spy movie. Or I know this movie, it's a rom-com. Or I know this movie, the seemingly nice boyfriend turns out to be a serial killer. Oh yeah, I know that movie. Anyway, it's like when you recognize the script, you see it. So I think that's a useful thing to see.
Yeah. And Rick, so this is another thing that actually concerns me. You have people who are kind of going to the past, the bullies, but also what's concerning, and we could go on all day, so maybe we should close on this, is that the other concern I have personally, is that this unbelievable accelerating change.
Yeah.
Automation, digitization. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the predictions about, the Oxford Martin School, 47% of jobs will be obsolete by 2030, and the, 81 to 87% to the Congress, people making under $20 an hour their jobs will be lost to automation. Yeah. How does this we have the bullies you're talking about, those people who, with fear, but then we also have this very real rapid progression, this age of transformation, like we call it. How does that factor in? How do we move forward in that context?
Oh, given the ways in which what we know today will be, for many, many people, obsolete in 20 years, if not 2 years.
Sure.
That takeaway is the most important thing to know today is how to learn what you need to learn tomorrow. Including not just book learning, ideas and facts and information, but social emotional learning how to become more skillful in different kinds of ways with other people or in what you do, or knowing how to bring general abilities to solve problems to problems we can't even imagine, or opportunities we can't even imagine that are going to be appearing in 5 years from now. So the material that you and I are really focusing on, learning how to learn, learning how to help yourself change for the better, to be truly agile and nimble as these disruptive forces ripple through us. That's the most important thing to know. Knowing how to, I call it informally, as you know, take in the good, so that you help it really land inside. That's the most important thing to know, because that's the universal process of learning that you can apply to anything. To use a kind of funny analogy, a year from now, certainly 10 years from now, we don't know what kind of rivers are going to be washing through our life, and we don't know what kind of fish are going to be in them. But if you are universally competent at fishing, if you know how to fish anything, you're going to be okay. And so therefore, learning how to fish anything, in my silly metaphor, is the most important thing to learn these days. And that's what you and I focus on.
Yeah, that's beautiful. As I said, we could go on all day. I want to leave with this. From my perspective, I think be able to create your emotions rather than be at the effect of all this negativity bias and all this going on is really what the positive neuroplasticity course does. Is that one of the main focuses? Am I on the right track there? To be able to create your emotions, create your experiences rather than be the effect of them.
That is really well said. Although it is a little bit of a slippery slope into trouble, so I just want to make a clear distinction here. Most of the time, when we're experiencing something useful, it's already happening. Like I said earlier, I have a nice sense of camaraderie and kinship with you and mutual respect, and it's good. On those 0 to 10 intensity scale, it's not a 10, but it's more than a 1. It's real. Whatever it is real. So most of the time we're having useful experiences, like you're getting something done or you have a nice interaction with another person. It's already happening. You don't have to create it. It's already authentic. That's important to know because it addresses the objection sometimes people have that this is just about faking. It's not about faking it. It's about harvesting the feelings you're already having or the thoughts you're already having. All right. That said, it's perfectly appropriate to self-generate happiness and love and compassion and fortitude and grit, to reach down inside yourself and pull them up. It's perfectly appropriate. And in fact, it's at the core of coping and adapting and resilience. Now, the more that you grow traits of happiness and love and inner peace and self-worth, the more that you grow those traits inside you, the more that they foster themselves as states. In other words, as you lift your mood, you're more likely to have happy experiences in the future. As you stabilize a resting state of lovingness with other people, even people that are your adversaries, you're more able to stay there when the oatmeal really hits the fan. And so I think that people structure different values. Like, I think there are 3 major classes of why be alive: quality of life, service, and learning, including spiritual development. I think most purposes in life fall into one of those 3 categories. And quality of life is the ordinary experience of well-being, day in and day out. Do you feel loved by others? Are you happy where you are? What's your quality of life? And most of the factors that determine your actual experience of quality of life are inside yourself, even in really, really tough conditions. So I would definitely want people to be able to, increasingly at will, be the masters of their own house. Be the masters of your own house. And be at peace inside yourself with who you are, all of who you are, while at the same time, the Buddha had a kind of a phrase about the purpose of training. And the words are kind of formal as they're translated, but they have a very clear meaning. He said, you should train yourself to develop a mind, and by which he doesn't mean just intellect. That's the least of it. It's your whole heart, your whole being. You should train your whole being such that it is malleable, so that you're not so rigid. You can actually grow and change for the better. And it is wieldy. Wieldy. You can wield it. You can use it for the sake of yourself and of other beings. To me, that's the purpose. And that's a beautiful path. And it's characterized by having and internalizing beneficial experiences, most of which are enjoyable.
That's beautiful. Rick, we could go, I could literally talk to you for hours.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate your time. Your resources are phenomenal. It'll all be listed here. And any final parting words? Have we covered it all, you think? Or
yeah, what I would tell people is there are a lot of very useful little hacks you can do to your own mind-brain system, little methods. And you and I, we didn't really talk about them, so I would really encourage people, go to my website, you'll have the links and tons of free material there, and you can also check out my online programs that will go into the detail of many, many kinds of methods people can use to really take in the experiences they're having. Okay, great. The second thing I would just say that I think I'm so struck by is that inside your own mind, like it's like a temple in there, no one can stop you, including even in the worst day of your life or the worst place of your life. No one can stop you inside your own mind in how you relate to what you're experiencing and relate to what's happening and how you try to help yourself grow and learn from it and heal from it or become more skillful from it or just deepen in your spiritual perspective about life. No one can stop you from growing inside your own temple. And no one can do it for you, which makes it credible. It's on us to do this ourselves, which to me gives it an authenticity.
Yeah, and it's so true. And again, I can without reservation promote the positive neuroplasticity training. It's affordable. It has so many tools that we couldn't cover now. Heal, which is a great tool, plus many, many others. And so, Rick, I just, again, a level of competence and character and compassion unmatched. We love having you here. We're really, really proud to have you as part of this, as a contributor here. And signing off, this is Dr. Stephen Cangiano, president and co-founder of RDT.Media and Events. Thanks again, Rick. Love to hope you can come back.
I'd love to. Thank you, Steve.